Hare Krishna, Namaste. Welcome to our Gita study session. So we are in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we are close to the end, final verses of this 7th chapter. So mostly we'll finish this chapter today. And next session onwards, we'll get started with chapter 8. So this chapter 7, coming from the Bhakti Yoga section of Bhagavad Gita. Bhakti means devotion, a love, a selfless love. We all have that love towards things, towards people, but the same love, when shifted towards the Supreme Lord, with pure love and devotion, it becomes bhakti. And the bhakti intensifies, it becomes yoga. So bhakti yoga is a means, is a path, or is a means one can take to attain Supreme Lord. So that is spoken in the middle half of Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhakti Yoga section of Bhagavad Gita, from chapter 7 to chapter 12. It's all about Supreme Lord, how to attain the Supreme Lord is spoken in this section by the practice of bhakti devotion. Krishna already covered the other paths, the path of Ashtanga Yoga, that requires one to meditate on the self, have good control on the body and senses. It would take months, years, lifetimes to attain perfection or attain self-realization. So Krishna spoke the easiest path, that is the path of Bhakti Yoga, one can take. It's still an option up to individuals. So in this verse, Krishna says, from here on, I'm going to tell you the most confidential knowledge. Hear attentively. And Krishna speaks about all his energies. Krishna, the Supreme Lord, being the creator, maintainer, and here he is in everyone and everything. He gives an example like a pearl necklace. Just like a thread is sustaining all the pearls, the Supreme Lord is sustaining the entire cosmic manifestation. Krishna is all pervaded. All pervaded. He also says he's a taste in water. He's a heat in the fire. He's a light in the sun. He's all pervaded. He's in everyone and everything. If Krishna is in everyone and everything, why can't I see Krishna? Why can't I perceive the Supreme Lord? The Lord says it is because there is a curtain. This curtain called Maya, the Prakriti, which consists of Sattva, Rajo, and Tamoguna. So we went through that in detail in our previous session. So because of that covering, we cannot understand Krishna. We can't perceive the Krishna. And Krishna says that covering can be removed. There is a solution. What is that? Devi Gunamayi Mama Maya Dhuratya. It is hard to overcome. I acknowledge that. Mameva ye prapadyante mayametam tarantite. If you take shelter of me, if you worship me, that Maya is cleared. The so-called illusion is cleared. You can come to the mode of goodness or transcend the mode. You can know me clearly. And you can attain me. It's so easy, but not everybody takes that. So Krishna talks about the 4 kinds of people who do not believe in the God. 4 types of people who worship the Lord. The people who do not believe in the God are for various reasons. Moda, they are ignorant. Moda, Naradama, Maya Pritagnana, Asuram Bhavam Ashrita. They are ignorant. Some people have knowledge, but they don't show interest. Other people, they totally understand in a wrong way the scriptures. Another set of people who develop enmity towards the Lord. So 4 set of people who do not take shelter of the Lord. Krishna clearly says that. Another 4 set of people who accept the Lord, who worship the Lord, They are Ardha, Ardhardi, Jignasu, Gnani. Ardha means the one who is in distress or who wants to solve some problems of life. Ardha, Ardhardi. He wants some wealth. He goes to the Lord and worship the Lord. He is a God himself, Lord Vishnu. Ardha, Jignasu, he is inquisitive. If a person is inquisitive, I want to know who am I? What is God? What is this material world? Why am I here in this world? I want to learn more about that. And I want to attain the Supreme Lord by fixing the mind. Jignasu also means one who wants to attain liberation, like focusing on self-realization only. And Gnani, one who is knowledgeable. They all seek the Supreme Lord. They all take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So Gnani here refers to the person who is going to the Lord with pure love and devotion, no other selfish motive. So Krishna says all are magnanimous. Whatever the way they are coming to me, I love them. I don't have problem with them. But if you come to me with pure love and devotion, I love you so much. That's what Krishna says. And Krishna also says it is very rare. Gaining the knowledge about the Supreme Lord, taking the shelter of the Supreme Lord, worshipping the Supreme Lord, it is very rare. Bahunanam Janmanam Ante. It takes many, many lifetimes at least to gain knowledge about the Supreme Lord and take the shelter of the Supreme Lord and exclusive surrendering unto the Supreme Lord exclusively. Surrendering unto the Supreme Lord exclusively. Krishna himself says it's very, very rare. And Krishna also speaks other subject matter about the demigods. So some people who are not going to demigod, who are not going to the God directly, but they are taking a indirect approach. So it is given in the scriptures, it is in the Vedas. If a person want to fulfill the desires, he can do some pujas or sacrifices to the demigods. Demigods are obligated to fulfill the desires, they'll do that. You can have a business deal with these demigods, but we cannot have a business deal with Supreme Lord. So demigods fulfill the desires. If a person is so much interested only in the demigods, at the time of death, he could attain the supreme, he could attain the destination of the demigods, which is also temporary. It's called heaven, Indraloka or Chandraloka or any other loka, any other planetary systems. Those are all temporary places. Okay, so now Krishna goes into other aspect of people that is who have a different conception about the Lord. God to be in person. God doesn't have a form. So we'll talk about that and we'll try to conclude this session in this chapter. Okay, so I'll ask someone to read this.
अव्यक्तं व्यक्तिम् आपन्नं मन्यते माम् अबुद्धयाः परं भावम् अजानन्तो ममाव्ययम् अनुत्तमम्. Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, just imperishable and supreme.
Thank you, Prabhu. It appears that Krishna is giving strong words, using the strong words, giving the strong message. Yes, it is for our benefit. So Krishna is talking about a group of people. The term used is abuddhayaha. Buddhi means intellect. Abuddhayaha means like his intellect is not fully matured. Who are those people? Example, if a child is studying some mathematics, he's learning the basic mathematics, like 6th grade mathematics, and he is not ready for calculus or higher mathematics. So he knows like mathematics is what I study in my book, but that's not what all the mathematics is. There is a lot in mathematics. So one has to study fully. If a person studies in depth, gains in-depth knowledge about Shastras, then gains in-depth knowledge who God is, who can be God. So Krishna is categorizing that set of people as Abhudeha. That means his knowledge is not so matured. Because of that immature knowledge, his conception is like this. What is that? He thinks God to be impersonal. God is someone who doesn't have a form. And Avyaktam, Vyaktam Apannam, he doesn't have a form, Avyaktam, and he takes the form from unmanifest to manifest because he's also like ordinary human being like us. That is one set of people. And others say like it is also because God also bound to karmic reactions when he takes birth and performs activities because of previous karma, he takes birth and does the activities. No. And some people say God is illusion. God is impersonal, doesn't have a form. When it takes birth, it's all illusion. It's all illusion. That is other kind of conception people have. Krishna is clearly refuting all those things. Krishna is saying that's not fully matured knowledge. The nature of Krishna is avyayam anuttamam. That is avyayam, that is imperishable. That which does not destroy or deteriorate. Anuttamam, it is supreme. There is nothing supreme to him. Krishna also says in previous verses the material things, the soul, and Ishvara. Mattha parataram nasti kinchinasti dhananjaya. There is nothing superior to him. So what is the right conception about the Lord? Buddhayaha, what one could think, the intelligent person. It is given in the scriptures. If you go to the Gnana Khanda section of Vedas, the Advaita Padis, they believe in the fact that God is Nirvikara, Nirvishesha, Brahman. But if you go in depth details in various scriptures, all the Upanishads and Narayana Upanishad, it says that Brahman is the Supreme Lord Vishnu himself. That's a complete conception, right? And the Supreme Lord has a form, he has a world, he resides in a place. When he appears with his own transcendental body. His transcendental body is not like our body. Our body goes through changes. We take birth. Every day we get deteriorated. Every second, our body, someone who is in the doctor field will know very well. Every day, every second, our cells are dying. Various cells are dying. Various things happening in our body. We have no idea. We are getting older and getting closer to the death. We have no idea that is happening. Because our body is also made of these material elements which are subject to destroy, subject to deteriorate. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, when they are mixed, we are also a product of that. It is subject to deterioration. Our body is subject to deterioration. Anything created in this world is subject to deterioration. The apple, if you take the apple, how long the apple could live? If you pick from even if it is on the tree, it will get deteriorated, it will get damaged. If you pluck from the tree, keep it on the table, yes, it will get deteriorated. So that's how Kalosmi aham lokha pravritte. Krishna says it is because of time that things happen. So the point here Krishna making is how one should see the Lord. Lord is not like that. Lord's body is pure. It doesn't deteriorate. Is avyayam. Avyayam. It is imperishable. He has a pure spiritual body in the spiritual world. When he comes and performs activities, those are divine. Those are called pastimes. Okay? Now Krishna also says in 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me devyam. My birth, that means appearance, my appearance, my activities, my pastimes are so divine, so divine. If a person knows that, Tyaktya punarjanma naiti mami sito Arjuna. If a person knows that Supreme Lord appearance and activities are divine, such a person will not take birth again. Krishna says in 4th chapter, so he's giving all those details throughout the Bhagavad Gita. So the real knowledge is the Lord is supreme. There is no superior to him, nothing superior to him, and he has a body, he has a form. When he appears past times. He appears, he performs past times. He's imperishable Brahman, Supreme Lord. Okay. So yeah, we'll move on to next section. Now, next verse. I'll ask someone to read this. Anyone want to read?
Oh, sorry, I was talking on mute, Prabhu.
Sorry. Okay.
Naham prakashah sarvasya. I am not manifest to everyone always like the sun. Yoga maya samavrataha. I am covered by my internal potency like the cloud. Muddoyam nabi janati. Therefore, the foolish people do not know that. Loko mam ajam abhyayam. I am unborn and infallible.
Thank you, Prabhu. So what in the previous verse, what Krishna said, he's not, he's imperishable, he's avyayam, he's supreme. But not many people could understand that. Why? Because of there is a covering called Maya, which is like a cloud, which is concealing our knowledge or vision about the Lord. Okay. What Krishna is saying is, he is there, just like sun is there. Sun is there, is all day, morning or evening, sun is there. Okay. If there are dark clouds, are the clouds covering the sun or the clouds covering my vision? It is a cloud covering my vision, but sun is there. When the clouds are removed, we can see the sun. Right? So people, some people, when Lord appears, they think like Lord is an ordinary human being and they have some misconceptions about the Lord. Lord is saying he will not reveal to such people. He will not reveal himself to such people. So it doesn't mean it doesn't reveal to everybody. There are, if you see Ramayana, if you see Krishna's pastime, Bhagavatam, right? So in Ramayana also, when the Lord Rama appeared, there are some people who are envious, very few, not all, very few. They're envious of the Lord Rama. And there are many great rishis. Lord Rama visited many rishis throughout this journey, right? So all those rishis, they had good knowledge about the Lord, and the Lord revealed himself. They had knowledge about the Lord, Lord revealed himself. And there are some people, also in the Krishna's pastime, Krishna openly displayed his divinity, like the Supreme Lord, to everybody. Like Mother Yashoda, he performed pastimes, he opened the mouth and displayed the whole universe. Gopis of Vrindavana and Yudhishthira also, everybody could see in the palace when Krishna killed Shishupala. Shishupala's soul was entering into the body of Krishna. It was going directly and entering into the body of Krishna. Some people could see that. One of them was Yudhishthira, could see that. He saw it with his own bare eyes, the soul entering into the Krishna's body. So, and Bhishma, and many people know when Krishna appeared, Bhishma and many all the Pandavas and many people know that this person is the Supreme Lord. The Garga Muni also gave the naming. Garga Muni knew very well. Garga Muni, he also gave the name when Krishna appeared. He gave the name as Krishna. The name is all attractive. The meaning of the name is all attractive. He gives a name of Krishna and also says this person is not an ordinary person. This is Supreme Lord himself. Take care of this person. And Vidura, Pandavas, Kunti, many all throughout Mahabharata, you can see many people knew that this person is a God himself. And also Krishna reciprocated with them. He revealed himself. There are some person, even though God revealed, they developed enmity towards the Lord. Like Shishupala and Duryodhana, they considered Lord to be their enemy. It's because of lack of knowledge. They are so stubborn. So that's their nature. So the point Krishna is making here is not everybody can understand Krishna. He is a Supreme Lord. He has a physical form. He appears, perform pastimes. So it is a covering. There is a covering on us, that is Maya. Because of covering, because our own nature, there is a covering. Because of this covering, we cannot see the Lord. Okay? So that is a message here. Lokoham, Lokomam, Ajam, Avyayam. I'm unborn and infallible. Krishna is declaring here, I'm unborn. I appear, but I'm still unborn. I'm infallible. Avyayam. He never perish. So that is a real understanding about the Lord. So this chapter is Gnana Vijnana Yoga, the basic knowledge about the Lord and in-depth details about the Lord, who God is, what are the greatness and glories of the Lord. Krishna is revealing everywhere. Krishna is stating these messages, like, that understanding, if a person thinks like God is a human being like us, no. That's called Muda. Krishna is saying Muda. That's ignorant, doesn't have full knowledge. Okay. So in previous verse and this verse also, Krishna clearly saying he is the Supreme Lord and his Aja is unborn. He always exists and he is supreme. He's Avyayam. He is someone who doesn't never perish. Okay, so we'll move on. This is English only, so if someone can read this.
O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. Delusion of the Jivas. O son of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arisen from desire and hate.
Thank you, Prabhu. So we'll go one by one, 26. So what Krishna said in previous set of verses, it is because of covering. There is a covering on us, that is Prakriti. Why that covering? We looked at in previous sessions and previous verses. The covering of mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. Prakriti has mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. We are propelled and act in a certain way because of our past life impressions, because of our karma, because of our habits in current life. We are propelled to act in a certain way. That is the activities of Prakriti. Prakriti facilitates in such a way that we can execute our actions and deplete our karmas. Whether good activities or bad activities, we are propelled in certain way. So that is been nicely orchestrated by this so-called Maya Prakriti. Because of this covering, we cannot understand the Supreme Lord. Because of this covering, we may give different interpretations to the Supreme Lord, that God doesn't have a form, or when God appears, he just appears like a normal human being. Right? So Krishna is stating clearly again and again, right, that he's imperishable Supreme Lord. And in this verse, in verse number 26, Krishna is saying, so one might ask, okay, think like there is a curtain. There are two people in front of each other, and there is a curtain in the middle. If there is a curtain, I can't see other person also can't see me, right? So it is because of covering of Prakriti, I can't see the Supreme Lord who is all pervaded. That means other person who is standing on the other side of curtain, is it the same for that person too? The God is on the other side, right? His vision is also concealed. He cannot also see me. He also doesn't have any knowledge about me. One might have this question. So Krishna is clearly saying here again, I know everything. So the words he used is as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I know everything that had happened in the past, that is happening now in the present, and that is yet to come. Past, present, and future, Krishna is saying he knows. I also know all living entities, but nobody knows me. So that means this covering, so-called covering, is just for us. Just for us. For God, there is no covering. He can see us clearly. The thick curtain is of Maya, of Prakriti, is just for us. So we'll go a little deeper into different verses of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna also said in the beginning, very beginning of second chapter, Arjuna was ready to kill and he looked at it, he was in depression. He looked at the relatives and he went into depression and he doesn't want to fight. And he gives various reasons he doesn't want to fight. And he also has a misconception. Arjuna had a misconception that when Arjuna kills, the people Arjuna is killing, their existence will be gone forever. That was a misconception Arjuna had. Arjuna thought when Arjuna kills, their souls will boom, blast forever or die forever. Their existence is gone forever. That was a misconception of Arjuna. Then clearly Krishna said that time, he starts with this verse. You, Arjuna, me, we both have appeared many times in the past. I remember everything. You cannot remember. We're gonna appear in future also. You cannot remember. I can remember. Krishna said that. Why Krishna can remember? Of course, he's God. That is one thing. He's Supreme Lord. He's pervaded throughout the universe. In 13th chapter, Krishna says these verses that he resides as Paramatma in the heart of every living entity. And he's like Upadrishta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwara. He's Upadrishta, he's overseer of our actions. What our actions we are doing, he's overseer. He knows everybody. He knows our past, he knows our future, he knows what we're gonna do, what we are gonna do next. Anumanta, he permits our actions. Doesn't mean like we are robots and Krishna, God is doing everything. No, we still have a free will. We still have a free will. We act in a certain way, but God knows everything. Interestingly, this message Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. Arjuna, after speaking 10 chapters, Arjuna was still not ready to fight. And Krishna at that time shows the universal form. Like when Arjuna want to see how Krishna is pervaded, Krishna shows the universal form. So there Arjuna could see past, present, and future. Krishna showed that all the Kauravas and all the people, they're getting into the body of the Supreme Lord and they're dying. Their blood is oozing. They're getting body of the Supreme Lord into his mouth, and Arjuna could see that. Arjuna could clearly see that. So, and Krishna at that time says, you become nimitta matra. You just become an instrument in my hands. You do your duty. Okay. So the message I want to say is, we have a free will to do our duties, but when we do as a service to the Lord, just as becoming nimitta matra, and just become an instrument and do as a service to the Lord, then there are no reactions to our action, and one can get closer to the Lord. Okay, so anyway, so other thing, in Krishna says in previous verse that he will not reveal to himself, he will not reveal to everybody. He knows the past, present, and future. The Maya curtain has no effect on Krishna. Krishna could see everybody. Krishna knows everybody. So other example, Dhritarashtra, after the war, all his sons were killed. All his sons were killed. 100 sons were killed. So that time Krishna goes to Dhritarashtra and Dhritarashtra inquires, Krishna, why this happened to me? Why all my 100 sons are died? I never committed any sin. So that time Krishna says, he goes back 50 lifetimes back. 50 lifetimes ago, you committed a sin. Because of sin, and you have to go through this suffering. So not just Dhritarashtra, throughout Mahabharata, we can see Krishna spoke about many people's previous life. And Krishna knew very well how a person is going to die. And he revealed, so that he revealed to Pandavas, to how to be with Karna or many people, right? So anyway, so the point here Krishna is making is, he is a Supreme Lord and he knows the past, present, and future of everybody, and there is no covering on Krishna. It is a covering on us. Okay, so we'll see text number 27. So here Krishna says that covering is there. Because of that covering, you cannot understand me. And this covering also does two things. How we are covered by the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And also Krishna adding few other things, that living entities are deluded. Deluded by so-called raga and dvesha, ichcha dvesha samuttena, desire and hatredness. Samuttena, the combination of this, we do actions and we go through this happiness distress cycle, and we perpetually end up into this repeated cycle of birth and death. The covering God is not making, we are putting the covering. Right? So let's talk about ichcha and dvesha. Ichcha means desire, a desire. I look at something, I desire for it. It is through senses. Indriyardeshu, Krishna speaks that in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Through my senses, sense of vision, I look at it. I look at iPhone 20. Brand new iPhone. I'll say, wow, this is the best phone in the world. I want it. It starts with, I wish I had it. Again, it turns to, I want it. If I attain it, if I attain that, whatever I wanted, iPhone 20, I develop attachment towards it. This is mine. I love it. I enjoy it for my pleasure only. After iPhone 21, those guys gonna release every year. They don't think like, okay, this person likes the iPhone 20, so let him enjoy. No. They want money. They're gonna release all the versions of phone. with all the innovative technologies. Again, I see iPhone 21, same. Again, I develop a desire. 22, I develop a desire, and I get attached to this so-called iPhone. But if my phone breaks, the thing I love so much that breaks, I feel bad. I go distress. I hate it. Icha means a desire, a liking, or dvesha means hatredness or dislike. If I have the object of enjoyment, I love it. That brings me happiness. If my object of enjoyment goes away, I hate it and it gives me distress. If I'm playing a tennis game, if I win the game, it brings me happiness. Look at me, I'm so great. I'm a great tennis player. Because I like to win. That is, it's my desire and my icha to win. When I win, I enjoy, it brings me happiness. If I lose, I can't take it. All the time I'm thinking it's because of me I'm winning. If I lose, I cannot take it. I hate losing the game. It's all sense perception. Okay. Ichadish, it's a combination of desire and hatredness. We do certain things. Our happiness and distress is also based on the so-called desire and hatredness. And we do certain activities, papa karma or punya karma, good actions or bad actions, because of certain things give happiness to us. For some people, doing good activities, yajna dana tapa karma, gives happiness, like doing charitable work, volunteering services, that gives happiness to some people. For some people, torturing someone, doing insulting someone gives happiness. Either way, if a person does good actions, will get good results. If a person does bad actions, will get bad results. And because of we are putting this covering, so-called covering, just for this so-called sense pleasure, which is born out of icha and dvesha. Okay. Okay, if that is a problem, Krishna, we are covered. And by the so-called raga and dvesha, if that is a problem, do you have a solution, Krishna? Can you tell me? And Krishna says a solution. He says, let's see what he says. I'll ask Samantha, right?
Yesam tva antagatam papam, one whose sins are eradicated, jananam punya karmanam, one who acted piously in previous and present lives, te dvandva moha nirmukta, one who is freed from the dualities of delusion, icha dvesha, bhajante mam dridavataha, engages in my service with determination.
Thank you, Brahman. So what Krishna said in previous verse, that the covering, there is a covering, not on the God, there's a covering on us, our vision. We are propelled or pushed to act in a certain way. And because of so-called icha and dvesha, desire and hatredness, we are bound into this material world. That means we'll be bound forever. Is there a, how can I clear my sins? Because of something is giving me happiness, I'm doing something and I'm bound by so-called karma, and also knowingly or unknowingly I'm committing so many sins. How do I clear those things? Okay? And Krishna in this verse is saying, who can do a pure devotion, a determined bhakti? So let's see that, and I'll auto connect. Ishantu antagatam papam, a person whose sins are eradicated, whose sins, the past life sins are totally eradicated. Krishna also spoke about this in previous verses. Because of past life sins, people never show interest in the God. If a person is inclined towards the God, that means they have done good actions, pious actions in the previous lifetime. It's very rare. Krishna spoke about that. We covered that in previous verses, right? So Krishna is saying again that if a person's sins are eradicated, and who acted piously in previous life, punya karmanam, he has done good actions, pious actions. We'll talk about what is sin. Okay, so the person has committed good actions and is freed from ichha and dvesha. He's not running behind so-called material things. He doesn't hate when things go away. He's neutral. Such a person can understand Krishna. Such a person can devote himself to Krishna with determination. Krishna is speaking everything about, God and how to approach the God, how to devote ourselves to the God, because one need to take the practice of Bhakti Yoga to attain the Supreme Lord. So, since Krishna said papam, what is papam? What is sin? We will talk about that. What is sin? So we can understand with this example, like there are traffic rules. In any government, if you go US government or any government, there are traffic rules. If I obey the traffic rules, if I'm driving as per the speed limits, if I'm stopping at the stop signal, I will not be given ticket. Right? I will not be given ticket. If I disobey, if I transgress the rules, then I'll be caught. The same thing, if a person is living a life according to dharma, according to the rules and regulations which had been established in the scriptures or also in Bhagavad Gita, if a person lives a life like that, then there are no sins. Okay, if a person is disobeying and disregarding scriptures, and Krishna talks about in 17th chapter, living a life according to his own whims, not even following any rules and regulations, not even following any traffic rules. He's creating problem to himself, he's creating problem to everybody. Such a person will never come out of this repeated cycle of birth and death. Krishna talks about it in 17th chapter, right? Yeah. So what is papa is that action which is against dharma, which is against scriptures, and also more importantly, that action which creates problems to other living entities. There is no reason for us to create problem to other living entities. If we are the cause of suffering of other living entities, that's a sin. And if we are the cause of suffering of our own body, that is also a sin. We have no right to create suffering to our own body. We can't intoxicate and torture our body. No. That's a sin. So there are 4 sins in Bhagavatam, in scriptures it is said, one must avoid. There are so many things, but 4 regulative principles, prohibited actions. Meat eating, causing problem to other animals, intoxication, alcohols, right? Creating problem to our own body, illicit relation with other women, other gender, illicit relationship, that also a prohibited action. Gambling is also a prohibited action. One develops cheating propensity by these actions. Okay. So all these are prohibited actions. These create sinful reactions. One has to stay away from this. So when the sins are cleared, one can clearly understand Krishna. So since we have been accumulating from many lifetimes, it is Sanatana Dharma says the soul goes through many lifetimes, accumulates many karmas, accumulates many sins, knowingly or unknowingly. Because of the sins, we cannot clearly understand Krishna. So that means, should I wait? Should I sit and wait for all my sins to be cleared and then I take shelter of Krishna? No, no. So Krishna is saying anyone and any time can take shelter of Krishna. And they can cleanse their sins. It is given in scriptures. If a person is sinful, if you want to remove the sins, what he has to do? He has to do prayachitta karma, atonement. Atonement. We hear this atonement in other religions, right? So one has to do prayachitta karma. If you do this sin, you do this action, atonement, then your sin is removed, as per scriptures, Vedic scriptures. But we have no idea what kind of sins we committed. We have no idea how to do atonement. We have no idea so many sins we have committed in many, many lifetimes. How could we go and do prayaschitta of all those things? So in the age of Kali, there is a benediction. The best atonement one can do is chanting the holy name of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada says chanting the holy name of the Lord or bhakti, devotional service to the Lord, reading scriptures of the Lord, hearing the pastimes of the Lord. One doesn't have to do atonement, but these actions, devotional services, devotional actions, cleanse the karma, remove the karmic reactions, and also remove all kinds of sins. We don't have to worry about what kind of papa I committed, what kind of prayaschitta, atonement I have to do. No. In the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, it is said clearly, by practicing devotional services, all the sins will be eradicated. As we are practicing, when the dirt is slowly getting removed from the diamond, when the dirt is slowly removed, the diamond starts shining. So the pure love of Godhead awakens within us when we do the devotional services. So that a person can do bhajan thema dridavata, that a person can meditate, fix his mind onto the Supreme Lord with pure love and devotion, with strong determination. Wow. Okay, so we'll do these two verses and we'll end this session. I'll ask someone to read this English.
Intelligent person striving for liberation from old age and death, Jara Marana Mokshaya, take my shelter, Mam Asritya, in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they know all about Brahman, the self, Adhyatmama, and transcendental activities, karma. Text 30. Those who know me as Adi Bhuta, governing principle of material manifestation, Adi Daiva, controller of demigods, and Adi Yajna, lord of sacrifices, and are in full consciousness of me, can understand me even at the time of death. Prayana Kale.
Thank you, Bhavan. So 29, Krishna says, a moksha kama bhakta. If a person is really intelligent, he is gaining knowledge, now he is interested in liberation, such a person, if he takes up the shelter of the Supreme Lord, Mahamashritaha, and performs devotional service, is getting purified. Brahmavid Brahmeva Bhavati. Such a person can know the Supreme Lord, Brahman. And Krishna uses this terminology. Such a person has to gain knowledge about certain things. That is, who is Brahman? What am I? What is Supreme Lord? Why am I? What are the karma? What is karma? And verse 30, he says, Adi Bhuta, Adi Deva, Adi Yagna, about the Supreme Lord. So this terminology, Krishna uses 7 things. Right? So six things, right? So Brahma, Adhyatma, Karma, Adibhuta, Adideva, Adiyagna. If a person gains understanding of this, he can clearly understand Krishna. And Krishna explained these 6 things in the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. In the 8th chapter, Arjuna asks this question, Krishna, what is this terminology? I can't understand. What are you saying? What is Brahman? What is Adhyatma, Karma, Adibhuta, Adideva, Adiyajna? Can you explain me all this in detail? Then Krishna goes in detail. He gives a meaning and starts continuing his discussion from 7th chapter. And it's a 8th chapter is a continuation of 7th chapter. It's not a different topic. It's a continuation of the 7th chapter. Okay. So this terminology we'll see when we get to the 8th chapter. We'll go in detail and try to understand in detail what exactly are those. Okay. So I'll quickly say, like, Brahman is a self, Brahman is a supreme lord, Adhyatma is a self and our activities, Adibhuta, the governing principle of material manifestation. Who is that governing principle for this entire cosmic existence? Adideva, the controller of the demigods. And who is this Adi Yajna, the lord of sacrifices, lord of all the lords? So the last two words are really important here. If a person gains knowledge about the Lord, like Lord of everything, Adibhuta, Adideva, Adiyajna, if a person gains knowledge about the Supreme Lord, even at the time of death, if a person gains knowledge about the Supreme Lord and meditates on the Supreme Lord, such a person can attain the Supreme Lord, attain the Supreme Abode. Krishna speaks about that in 8th chapter. So Krishna in this 7th chapter, I'll speak about the connection between 7th and 8th chapter. Okay. So in the 7th chapter, Krishna spoke about if a person takes shelter of the Supreme Lord, he can attain the Supreme Lord. And there are 3 types of people who take shelter of the Supreme Lord, who is interested in material things. They go to Supreme Lord. And a person who want to attain self-realization, he takes the shelter of the Supreme Lord. If a person want to develop bhakti, if a person goes to the Lord with pure love and devotion, not even self-realization, right? So such a person will also approach the Supreme Lord. For all these categories of people, what should be their objective? What should be their goal? What should they meditate upon while living, even at the time of death? What should be their consciousness? Krishna talks about this in the 8th chapter. Okay. And interestingly, we see many things. If a person at the time of death, what should be his consciousness? If a person is thinking about material things, certain things, he will attain certain birth. Krishna talks about all these things. If a person thinking about me all the time, even at the time of death, such a person can attain me, my spiritual abode. So what should be the consciousness of a living entity at the time of death? And when a person dies, Krishna speaks, when a person dies after death, if a soul goes through I don't want to tell all those things. You will be a little worried. So if a soul, the traversing of the soul, how the soul traverses, right? So Krishna talks about that as well. After that, if a soul passes through Archaradi Marga, like a path of light, it attains the higher planets. If the soul at the time of death travels to the Dhumardi Marga, like the path of darkness, that means if a soul leaves the body from the lower parts of the lower gates or upper gates, right? Our body has lower gates and upper gates. Upper gates like through head. The soul goes through the upper head. What happens if the soul goes through lower parts of the body and when the soul exits through this path of darkness, what will happen? So Krishna talks about these aspects also. We'll see that. More importantly, the Antima Smriti is very important. Krishna highlights the Antima Smriti, means at the time of death, what should be your consciousness? Whatever you meditate upon, you'll attain the same thing. So we'll see that all those things very technical, very technical section, the chapter 8. Krishna talks about, I'm repeating again, Krishna talks about that what should one meditate upon, and what are the different means one can take, and what is the destination. That is a subject matter in 8th chapter. We'll see that in next session. So I'll stop here.